The company Walgreens was considering doing a pseudo-legal tax avoidance scheme called inversion. Now, I've given you the details of inversion previously on the show. It basically is a situation where a company sets up shop overseas and they pretend like that's where they mainly do their business. It's absolutely ridiculous because they oftentimes pick the Bahamas or Ireland or other places where you pay a lower corporate tax rate, and they go, no, we actually do most of our business in Ireland. Oh, is that so, AT&T? I didn't know that. And by the way, I'm picking that name randomly. I don't know if they actually do inversion. I don't remember from the article which specific companies do it, but it's a lot of them that do it, and it's really fucked up, and it's totally bogus. And we know it's bogus. We could see right through it. So what happened specifically with Walgreens is they actually backed out of doing an inversion scheme at the last second. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Obama, to his credit, actually said something about it and put pressure on not only Walgreens but other companies too that were planning on doing an inversion of their own. And the media also did a rare, decent job where they spoke about it and they covered it a little bit. We covered it endlessly, but of course we're going to cover things that matter. The mainstream media rarely does. I think they did cover it at least a little bit on this particular issue. So Walgreens decided against it, and in step Fox News or Fox Business Channel and Charles Payne to argue in favor of corporate tax cheats.
Lose billions of dollars in profits that they did not have to pay. So essentially the CEO of Walgreens destroyed capitalism, shareholder rights. He not only blinked, he gave the president so much ammunition. And I'm telling you, watch. I hope he's not standing side by side when the president makes this announcement, but the president will bring up Walgreens doing the patriotic thing. Instead, it was one of the most shameful moves I've seen a CEO do in a long time.
Sounds like the guy folds it like a cheap suit then, was he?
Again, I couldn't make it up if I tried. He just said because they didn't cheat on their taxes, they're shameless. Like, oh, how dare you? He said you destroyed capitalism by not cheating on your taxes. Has there ever been a time in history previously where in public you can open your mouth and say something so absurd, where you basically go out there and say, yes, I am in favor of corporations, sending all their money overseas and pretending like they're stationed overseas so they can avoid taxes. I'm in favor of them shifting the tax burden onto the middle class and the lower class and regular people, which, by the way, is exactly what happens. The government has to get their taxes from somewhere. They have to get revenue from somewhere. So what do if they can't get it from corporations? Well, they end up having to get it from middle class workers and lower class workers. It's unbelievable. Like Fox Business, they don't even try to hide it anymore. They're just saying, no, we are always in favor of corporations rigging the system in their favor and basically doing tricky, nonsense, sleazy moves that if you tried to do it, your ass would be thrown in jail. I mean, how incredible is this? He destroyed capitalism by not cheating on his taxes. Destroyed capitalism. What do you think? There's no rules for capitalism? The only way capitalism can thrive and actually function and work for everybody is if it's regulated and if there are rules and if you can't just fucking send your money to Ireland or the Bahamas or the Cayman Islands and just say, well, I guess I do all my business in the Cayman Islands with a population of 7 because that's where I say I'm headquartered, so I guess it is what it is. And then he actually, did you hear it? He actually mocked the idea of being patriotic. He's like, yeah. You know what they're going to say? Obama's going to say this is a patriotic move. Ugh, gross. We're so unpatriotic. We love being unpatriotic. I guess you do. You're just kind of flat out arguing for it. You're anti-patriotism. You're saying, no, I don't want the corporations to pay their fair share. And look, here's what you have to understand, man, because the heart of their argument is, well, look, in the U.S., we have taxes that are way too high anyway. So if we're dealing with a company that basically wants to say, fuck it. We're going to go ahead and put our money overseas because we think it's fair for us to pay less. That's the heart of their argument, is taxes are too high here anyway, so they should do it, and we shouldn't get mad at them for it. But that's bullshit. But that's a bullshit argument. And what they say is, well, it's a 30% or 35% corporate tax rate. That's way too high. That's insane. Except it's not a 30 to 35% corporate, 35% corporate tax rate. That's what they call the nominal rate. The nominal rate is simply what it is on paper. In reality, the effective rate, which is what matters because it's actually what you pay, it's about 12.5%. which is one of the lowest in the modern industrial world, one of the lowest corporate tax rates. But they don't have an answer for that, and they don't care about the facts. They don't care about the reality. Their entire job is to go out there and defend corporations and defend Wall Street.